I was approached by the fishing community. And man, I can tell you, Bahamian fishermen don't play. And everyday sense, my phone keeps blowing up. Because for them, there is an ongoing vexing issue of the introduction of illegal, well, they're not illegal, but foreigners who are participating in the fishing industry. And it has been a concern of theirs, and they want resolution. Mr. Deputy, I have promised them that I am, and I said it in this place when I first stood up in this place in 2012, I am an ardent nationalist. Unapologetically so. And I believe, as our policy states, that fishing is reserved solely for Bahamians, that's what it can be. So, Mr. Speaker, I asked the Director of Fisheries for a listing of all of the individuals involved in commercial fishing. Now, to my disappointment, he says there's no requirement for them to have a record of all of the persons involved in the commercial fishing. I asked the same thing of the Director of Agriculture, but to his credit, the Director of Agriculture was able to provide me with all of the listed farmers in the Bahamas because it's a requirement for them. So I have asked the Director of the Department of Marine Resource for us to ensure that we know every Bahamian fisherman who's involved in the commercial side of fishing. And whether we need to get legislation to do that, we should do so. Because I believe that is one way for us to ensure that when you come to try and fish, that we have the opportunity to look and to assure ourselves that you, as in the word of the island, want to weed. Now I understand that there are those who would have come in. Folks said that there are individuals who have married and are participating in the industry, and again, we're going to have to look at that because there is legislation for quote-unquote marriages of convenience. I'm not saying that it is. We're going to have to look at that. I've also instructed the ministry to all these fishing inspectors, once we have a listing of everybody involved in the commercial fishing, because the inspectors are supposed to go out and inspect the boats and inspect who's working and inspect the catch. That for each one of these inspectors, we give them a defined set of boats that they themselves are responsible for. Because I don't want what I have heard and the issues that I've had to deal with over the past month of being the minister, which is I get calls and the fellas say, man, they got 12 Dominicans on one boat as engineer. And by the way, engineers do not like you calling mechanics engineers. That's an issue with the engineering sector, but I ain't gonna touch that today. But at the end of the day, if you're responsible to inspect that boat and know who's working on it, you can't come back and tell me one ship with a Caterpillar engine needs 12 engineers to work on it. So member for Northern Lutheran, we gonna fix it. Because I do not want to be standing here. I do not know how long the Prime Minister is going to give me carriage of this ministry, but I don't want to be standing here. And if I'm here 3 years down the road, having the Bahamian fishermen asking the same question, seeking the same resolution, and getting no results.